Welcome. My name is Josh Almeida, and I am very excited to bring to you our latest installment of Focus on Learning, brought to you by New Bedford Public Schools and New Bedford Cable Network. While the best way to find out what your child could be doing at home is to work directly with your child's teacher in school, we know these videos will help everyone keep learning active at home.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Nunes, first grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary School. Today we're going to be going back into our ELA packet for grade 1. This is from packet 2, and we are going to be reading aloud the Animal Rescue Club. If you've already read this story, this is a great opportunity to come back and reread it along with me and to go over your answers. And if you haven't had a chance to read it, please follow along in your packet. So we are going to be focusing in on describing events. This is also found in your packet, and it says an event is something that happens in a story. You can use key details to describe an event or tell more about it. So while you're reading or listening to a story, some questions to be thinking about. What happens first, next, or last? How important is this event? What details tell about the event? And describing important events helps you make sense of a story. It can help you understand, remember, and retell the story. And that's a very important skill, especially in first grade, to be able to retell a story after you've listened or read a story to yourself. So before we start reading the Animal Rescue Club, I have a few vocabulary words that I want to go over to help us better understand the story. So the first word I have is walkie-talkie, and the picture here hopefully helps you make a picture in your head or to make a connection to what a walkie-talkie is. So a walkie-talkie is a small radio for receiving and sending messages. And walkie-talkies are a great way to communicate when you're not right next to someone. So maybe you can play with walkie-talkies out in your backyard, or if you're camping, it allows you to talk with your friends using and sending messages. So we have walkie-talkie. Our next word is rescue. And rescue is to save someone or something from danger or harm. And here, if you can see closely, it is a koala bear. And the koala bear is being rescued by a volunteer. And this actually happened this year in Australia. There were some wildfires and volunteers came and they were rescuing the animals. So they were saving it from danger. And then our last word is possum. And here I have two pictures to help you. And a possum is a somewhat small white or gray animal that is usually active at night, that lives in North and South America and in Australia. So here, this could be a possum in your backyard, and I thought this was really interesting. Look how the mama is carrying her babies, little piggyback rides to get her babies safely from one place to the other. So now we are going to go into our story. I would love if you follow along with me. And then when we're done reading, we're going to be answering some comprehension questions. So let's get started. The Animal Rescue Club by Cynthia Kayak. It was a boring night. Then I heard a beep beep from my walkie-talkie. My best friend Finn said, "Come in, Abby. Give me the signal." So that beep beep is how they're communicating through the walkie-talkie. I raced to the window. With my flashlight, I clicked on, off, on, off. Finn flashed back twice from across the street. So they're also communicating using their flashlight. They have a little pattern to tell each other that they're there. "I'm here," I said in my walkie-talkie. "Hurry," Finn said. "An animal needs us. Meet me outside." Finn and I love animals. We created an animal rescue club. This was our first case. I ran outside. Finn beeped me again. So remember, that means he's communicating on the walkie-talkie. Abby, there's a possum here. Look. He shined his flashlight. I looked closely. I saw many eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of glowing eyes. Finn, it's a mama. She has 3 babies on her back, I whispered. The babies hugged their mama tightly as they bounced along. The possums started to cross the street. Finn and I watched. Suddenly, the nighttime street got brighter and louder. Finn, there's a car coming. I grabbed my flashlight. We had a plan for this. Finn called, ready for our first rescue? Right, let's see what their plan is. We shined our flashlights up and down the street. Then we used them to make a big, bright X in the dark. Our X was right over the possums. The car stopped. Finn and I watched the possums walk safely across the street. Hooray for the Animal Rescue Club, I said. So that was a really smart plan that they had to help protect the possums. So now, in your packet, you're going to find your questions on the next few pages. I've taken mine and I just cut them up to make it easier to go back into the text. So we're going to start right back off in the beginning of our passage. And remember, it's really important to use that text to answer your questions. So I'm going to go to the first page of the passage, and then I'm going to take question number 1. So let's see what question number 1 says. So question 1, and again, they give us the clue. It can be found on page 1 of our passage. And it says, what is the first way Finn sends a message to Abby? Walkie-talkie, flashlight, or cell phone? Now, right away, I don't remember them ever communicating from a cell phone. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to see the first way. So let's look in the text. It was a boring night. Then I heard a beep beep from my walkie-talkie. My best friend Finn said, come in, Abby, give me the signal. So the very first way they communicated was using, excellent, the walkie-talkie. So we're going to circle A. Excellent job. All right, let's move on to question 2, and that's going to be found on page 2 of our passage. So question 2 says, what did Abby and Finn do to show they love animals? A, they started a group. B, they watched from a window. Or C, they took a walk outside. So let's see, it says, I'm here, I said in my walkie-talkie. Hurry, Finn said, an animal needs us. Meet me outside. Finn and I love animals. Oh, that's going to be our clue. We created an animal rescue club. And there's our answer. So now let's look back. A, they started a group. Excellent. And their group was an animal rescue club. All right, let's move on to question 3. And this is also on page 2 of our passage. How do you know that Finn and Abby are just starting to help animals? Complete the sentence. So they've given us a sentence frame to complete. Abby says that this is their blank case. A, boring, B, first, or C, best. So I'm going to pick up where we left off. We created an animal rescue club. This was our first case. So there's our proof. So are we going to say A, boring, B, first, or C, best? Excellent, B, first. Abby says that this is their first case. Excellent job. Let's go on to number 4. And number 4 is going to be on page 3 of our passage. And number 4 says, what happens in this part of the story? So here they want us to focus in on those events and being able to describe the events in a story. So on page 3, what's happening in this part of the story? A, Finn shows Abby a group of grown-up possums. B, Finn shows Abby a mama possum and her babies. Or C, Finn shows Abby 2 baby possums. So I knew this story was about possums, but I'm not sure which is the best answer. So I'm going to look back. So Finn beeped me again. Abby, there's a possum here. Look. He shined his flashlight. I looked closely. I saw many eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of glowing eyes. Finn, it's a mama. She has 3 babies on her back, I whispered. The babies hugged their mama tightly as they bounced along. All right, so I want to find the answer that has the babies and the mama. So let's see. A was about grown-up possums. B was about a mama possum and her babies. So we want to circle B. Be careful. Sometimes they try and trick you. This one, all the answers had to do with possums. All right, staying on page 3. What does Abby see when Finn shines his flashlight? Ooh, so we just read this. So let's go back. I looked closely. I saw many eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of glowing eyes. So let's see if any of the answers has to do with eyes. So A, Abby sees the eyes. I think that's our answer. Let's double check. Abby sees the tail. Abby sees the teeth. That was an easy one. A, Abby sees lots of glowing eyes. All right, let's keep going. So question 6. We're going to move to page 4 of our passage. And question 6 says, what happens in this part of the story? Complete the sentence. So again, they want us focusing in on being able to describe those events. Abby and Finn worry that a blank could hurt the possums. A, car, B, light, or C, road. So let's reread this page to find out what Abby and Finn are worried that could hurt the possums. The possum started to cross the street. Finn and I watched. Suddenly, the nighttime street got brighter and louder. Finn, there's a car coming. There's our proof. I grabbed my flashlight. We had a plan for this. Finn called, ready for our first rescue. Right, so what's our best answer? A, car, B, light, or C, road? You're right. It's A, car. Nice job. All right, moving on to number 7. We're going to go to our last page of our passage. In number 7, it's a long one, it says, read the underlined sentence. What do Abby and Finn find out? So, they gave us the whole page here. We shined our flashlights up and down the street. Then we used them to make a big, bright X in the dark. Our X was right over the possums. The car stopped. Finn and I watched the possums walk safely across the street. Hooray for the Animal Rescue Club, I said. So, we're going to reread this underlined. The car stopped. What do Abby and Finn find out? So, did they find out that they learned that the possums are in danger by the car stopping? Do they learn that the flashlights are broken by the car stopping? Or do they learn that their rescue plan is working? Well, if the car stopped, that means their rescue plan is working. So we're going to circle C. All right, number 8 is our last question. Excellent job. So number 8 says, which major event happens at the end of the story? So we're focusing in on those events and now we're sequencing them. So it says in the beginning, Abby learns from Finn that an animal needs them. In the middle, Finn shows Abby a possum family at night. So we need to fill in the ending. Is it A, Abby uses her walkie-talkie to talk to Finn? B, Abby and Finn help the possum cross the street? Or C, Finn tells Abby that the possums need help? So let's look at our last passage. Finn and I watched the possums walk safely across the street. Hooray for the Animal Rescue Club, I said. So let's find our answer. Abby uses her walkie-talkie to talk to Finn. That was right at the beginning. Abby and Finn help the possums cross the street, or Finn tells Abby that the possums need their help. Answer B. Excellent job. All right, thank you so much for reading along with me and answering the questions. Now my challenge to you is to go back into your packets, reread the passages, and make sure you're answering those questions. Bye.